Hello. Good morning. Good morning. You are here with the impromptus with Lanita. Like I mentioned, I started yesterday, and so I wanted to do a small morning series, not necessarily giving a time, but having it in the morning so that for your busy schedules, you can actually come back to it and listen to it, either going to work or coming home from work. And so, the purpose of these is not necessarily for you to listen to them live, because I know that everyone has different schedules. So I just want to get started. So I talked about time management and prioritizing things that matter the most to you. And this was yesterday. And so this will be a build on when it comes to tools or sharing my life experiences. And the goal for me this time is to make this no more than 15 minutes. And if there's anything that you want to add in the chat, please do so. I'll make sure that I respond to you later on today. So why I wanted to get started with this. So I wanted to get started with this because, number one, to have accountability for myself, because it's been a few months that I've been live, and I have my personal reasons when it comes to, work and things of that nature. But to me, it was like, okay, I just got to the point where I did not want to be, I didn't want social media dictating what I need to do and what I should do, because everything that I was doing wasn't working, to include, on some of the other apps that I will not mention right now. So because of the inconsistency, I would post once a week, but it wasn't the same day. Again, going back to overwhelm from my trying to shift into a new battle rhythm with my schedule, with work and then other things. So work, and then there, I still have family, and then there is the community service work. So I'm not part of just one organization. I'm part of two now. So it was a little bit different when it was just one, but when you have two, again, like I mentioned yesterday, everything that you do is not going to be 100%. So you're going to give more to one. Right now, it's the military for me. And then there's the other organization. So you cannot give 100% to everything. So you have to be mindful of that. And I'm telling you that because that's lessons learned that I constantly have to learn along the way when it comes to decisions that I make. Right. So again, it goes back to prioritizing what matters the most to you. So that's something that I wanted to do. Yes, I wanted to join an organization, and I did, a volunteer organization about sisterhood, community service, leadership, sisterhood, like I mentioned, and the youth and our senior citizen community. So, being part of that, there's something that I can do now, but I know that I really have to constantly reevaluate and say, okay, is this going to be something that I can do? Do I have the capacity for like next program year or next year, so forth, based on the things that I have going on? So, transitioning from the military, so, and starting a new endeavor when it comes to career, business, making choices, hard decisions when it comes to that as well. Uh, so yeah, I wanted to come on here. That was the reason. The main reason is just to get a pulse on, who actually is engaging, and engaging is in different ways. Who, looking at what matters the most, what is valuable content. And so I just wanted to just really get out some things that I really want to focus on, and also bring into the new year 2025 and beyond. Self-care is a topic that I've talked about over the years. It's something that's not going away, but I actually want to. Self-care is very broad, so I have to narrow it down. And I've done the different types of domains of self-care, but not necessarily really gearing in or honing in onto what are the desires, the pain points of the women that I serve. And so I wanted to just get a chance to do that in a different way when it comes to presenting content. But again, today, this is just a build on. So talked about time management, prioritizing. That's not going to change. So if you didn't get a chance to watch the replay, you can watch it. One of the things I don't want to do is I don't want to ramble on too much because some of the things that I do, I want to make sure that it's natural, and then I'm not constantly reading from an index card or something like that. Now, there will be times when I do that, especially if I have master classes or whatnot, because I'm not going to try to remember everything. So, but I wanted to come on here very quickly, like I said, no more than 15 minutes, but to actually remind us all, because I'm speaking to you all, but this is for me as well, that when it comes to prioritizing what matters the most, one of the things that we have to look at is within. So that comes into the inner work. And a lot of times we don't want to work on the inner work. We rather focus on what is going to get me results right now. Like, I want this right now. And it's the, how to make money, how to get into a new relationship, things of that nature. But when it comes to doing the work on yourself, to some people, it's too hard. They rather do the easy. Well, in this life, doing inner work is not going to be the easy thing, but it's something that needs to be done in order for you to bring out your best, so that you can bring it out in others as a leader. This is not just, in your professional work. This is in your home. This is in your communities nearby and next to you. These are in communities that you invest in, that you actually take time to do work, to do volunteer work, to actually lead, coach, consult the youth. You may have young adults, older adults, all those type things in your church, online or offline, in person, small group discussion. We all have influence in some way or fashion. But again, you cannot be effective giving out the best of you unless you actually work on yourself. And so perfectionism has been one of those areas in my life that just to be clear, I do actually get professional help for that. So it's not something that I shove away and say, okay, I'm just going to continue to do what I do. I did that for years and thought it was normal, and it wasn't. So that's something that I constantly have to, remind myself of, that done is better than perfect. Okay, for those that don't know the quote. So done is better than perfect, and giving my best is what I have, and I am enough. And so failure will happen, but failure are stepping stones. Failures that happen are stepping stones, and they lead to something. It's lessons learned. Now, when you continue to do the same failures, that's when it becomes an issue. And so now there's underlying issue that you really have to pay attention to and actually look at, identify, and actually reframe and shift and say, okay, how can I change this? And at that time, when you realize that, you may need help with that by not, some people could do inner work by themselves. Some people need guides. Some people need coaches, spiritual advisors. So what I'm telling you is, this is inner work that is not done alone. If you believe in a higher source like I do, that is part of it. It's not by yourself. It's co-creation. It's a higher source helping you through that work. But then you also have another person of experience that can actually guide you. They're not going to make the decision for you. They're guiding you so that you can have that self-discovery. So for me, the perfectionism was an area that I really had to hone in on and focus on, because it was actually keeping me in stagnant in certain ways. I was doing everything great in the military, hey, this is what you got to do. You got to do this, you got to do that. But at some point, it stopped. And then I had to figure out, okay, what is going on? What is going on? And I had to do the inner work and say, okay, this is this feeling that I'm having. It was like, okay, this is not enough. There's something else that I want to do, but something is holding me back in that process. And so with the self-discovery, I couldn't put a finger on it or a word on it until I actually invested in to help me along my path to get me, where I am now. But again, it wasn't just a spiritual advisor. I believe in God. Everyone has, their belief system. And with my belief system, I believe that that's part of co-creating what it is that's in my life right now, and not me operating by myself. And so in that process, and I'm bringing this up because there may be things that you may feel that's keeping you stuck or making you feel stagnant, or you feel like you can't move or progress. And again, that's where the inner work comes in. And so we cannot blame other people unless we're looking at ourselves first. What is it that I can do to move the needle in things that I desire in my life? What can I do? Who is the person that can help me move the needle? Because it's, again, we're talking about inner work and the different types of inner work. And in my example that I'm giving you is I have to work on perfectionism. And a lot of times you'll hear the term imposter syndrome as well, because it's still connected to perfectionism, where imposter syndrome, you may feel as though you are a fraud or you don't belong in a certain setting because you feel as though you're either not enough, or you feel like you haven't been conditioned or received whatever that is. I just give you an example. If you are going into a position, it does not necessarily have to be a specific industry, but you fill in the blank, and I could just use my example, me as an example, being in the military and progressing and getting to the rank of sergeant major. Well, in that process, on my journey, there were times where I felt as if I wasn't prepared enough to actually be in the position. So even though I was in the position, I was looking at my peers because they had less time in service than I did. So I had like over 25 years at a certain point, and I'm just looking at, okay, I should be at this level. I should know this. I should know that. This is something that I've actually had to give myself grace in that process. But during that time, I felt as though I was not worthy because I was not skilled in certain things. So then what did I do? I started over preparing and overworking to feel as though I can actually compensate. And I did it for a lot of things. And so that was one example. So imagine you, whatever position that you're in, you actually desiring that position. You get the position, but you don't feel as though you are not worthy of that. So what do? You start doing other things to compensate, to feel as though, you're whatever you are in that moment, you're not enough. So there's other things you got to do to feel like you're complete and ready for that position. Right? So that's career. What about business? You start a small business, and we're not even talking about brick and mortar. We're just talking about you just start a business in coaching or consulting, and you look around and you see other of your peers that are getting started. They're on the same level as you, but then you're looking at other people that's been in like 15 years, and you're feeling like as if you're not worthy. Oh, I need this skill. I need this certification. I got to do this. I got to do that. So then you constantly are getting certifications, but not executing what you already learned, so that you can create that program, that offer, giving and serving in a way that's unique to you based on your life experiences, based on your skills, talents. And so you look at everyone else as if you're not enough, and then you don't do anything. So then a year goes by, another year goes by, and then you're talking about you're doing this, and then now you're on your 7th year. But you have no offer, you have no program, coaching program is what I mean. You don't have any coaching programs, or you don't have any digital products. You don't have any classes. You don't have anything created because you're constantly on this cycle of, I'm not trained enough, so I can't do this, I can't do that. So you're putting seeds in your mind as if you are not ready when you are ready, but you feel as though you're not. So again, I'm giving you an example so you can connect the dots and say, okay, where do I fit in that situation? If you don't fit in that situation, keep scrolling, because this is not for you. But if it's for you, then I just want you to, give yourself grace. That's the first thing. Give yourself grace. But then also know, in order for you to move forward in the desires that you want in your life, you have to do the inner work. And that inner work is not going to be the same as everyone else's. Just because a coach has a program on inner work, that inner work might be for that one thing. You need something different. So again, it goes back to, what are the things that you need? How do you feel in the situation right now? Who can actually help you move forward? And what is the action that you're going to do? What is the aligned action that you're going to do? When I say aligned action, I mean aligning with your belief system, aligning with your values that aligns with that, aligning with your personal, professional goals in life. And instead, if you don't like the word goals, use the word desires. That aligns with the desires of your life. That is aligned with what you want to be doing in the future self of you. If that person aligns with you, then now it's time for you to make a change and invest on something. I don't care if it's a book, starting with a journal. This here is from $5 and Below store, and this is just a 5-minute focus journal where you have questions. And so I wanted to share that before I close. But again, it doesn't have to be big. You can start small and then actually do your self-work and your self-evaluation on what's working, what's not, what do I need help with, how can I self-reflect and actually help me with that. Maybe you need to have like a timer or a guide to help you, take action when it comes to the self-reflection or seeking the professional help so that you can actually identify those things. But I wanted to talk about this today as far as when it comes to prioritizing, when it comes to the time management, when it comes to bringing out the best in you. The first thing, it starts with us. So when it starts with us, sometimes it's not the easiest thing. It's always easy to do something completely different when we take care of everyone else, but we're not taking care of ourselves. We can pay attention to everyone else's issues, but we're not taking care of our issues. We can fix everyone. So that's what we think. We go in here and try to problem solve and give solutions for everyone else, but we're not looking at ourselves and what it is that we need. So I wanted to just go in and just, talk about that, the inner work, where that comes in. This may be too much for you right now. Maybe you need to step back. It's okay to rest. It's okay to rest, reset, and then come back, reflect. What do I need right now in this season? Again, we're in the holiday season. And then after the holiday season, then we're in the new year. And then so it's going to be new year, new me, new you, all these things. But then we're overwhelmed because we feel like we haven't reached that moment and that we're not enough. And we are enough where we are. There's just some things that we need to tweak and improve. But where we are supposed to be for a reason. And so if there's life lessons that you have to go back to and actually look at and say, okay, what can I learn from this? Let this be a time to do that. Maybe the new business that you want to build in this season right now is just part of the process, but you have to, anything when it comes to business, honestly, has been personal development for me. I did not realize certain things about myself until actually starting in business. So, and business can be different for everyone. I've started my coaching practice in 2017, and I've had ebbs and flows. I've invested in coaches that weren't aligned with my belief system. I invested in coaches that were in the hustle mode. And I was just trying to figure out, okay, this is not aligning. This is not aligning with me because I'm already doing too much of that constant work in my profession. And I need something that's going to slow me down so that I can actually have a good pathway. So that's what was challenging for me as well. So again, inner work, we have to do it. So I encourage you, if you need guidance in that, then seek the person that aligns with you and what you need in this season. So just before I close, this is a journal. Again, I got this from $5 and Below. 5 minutes focus. And so you can actually do this before you start your day, or just based on your schedule. If you work nights, then of course this will be something that you would do before you start your day. But this is giving you intentions on what you desire for the day, gratitude, being thankful. What are you thankful for? And what are your actual things that you need to get done that day, so that you're not overwhelmed with trying to do everything in a day when you only have 24 hours in a day. However, you can collapse that time if you're doing things that truly matters to you. So the first question, it says here, and this is how to use, this is a how to use, right? So you always want to make sure that you have instructions on how to use a journal. And then this is just an example of what you can do when you're journaling. So this journal here says this journal is meant as a companion to sorting things you bring with your everyday, a way of grounding yourself in life's tough moments. When you see this, take time to relax and breathe. So there's an icon that you'll see for each page, right? So when you see this, take time to relax and breathe. Set your timer for 5 minutes. That's why it's called 5 minutes focus. Set your timer for 5 minutes. Sit in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Take 3 slow, deep breaths in and out. Continue breathing normally and just notice the rhythm of your natural breath and how each part of your body feels. Once you feel somewhat relaxed, imagine your highest self, yourself at your best. What would you be doing? Where would you be? What would be your general attitude? When your timer goes off, softly open your eyes and notice the sounds, textures, colors around you to keep yourself present and relaxed. And then this is, now I may be saying this quote wrong. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to joy, to love. And this is a quote from Marcus Aurelius. So I probably said the last name wrong, so I do apologize for that if I did. But it's a gift for us to live and breathe. And I mentioned that a few months ago, and I constantly say that. It's a gift for me to breathe. It's a gift for me to speak to you. It's a gift for me to move my body. It's a gift for me to think. It's a gift for me to have ideas. It's a gift for me to be creative. It's a gift for me to be able to rest. We all have that gift. It's a gift for me to love. It's a gift. And not all of us are continuing on with that gift. So it's important for us to be in the moment of gratitude, being thankful, and actually honoring the gifts that we actually have right now in this moment. And so the questions, and then I'll close here. Just like I mentioned, you have the instructions. So then the same instructions are up here. And then it says, what attitude or feeling would you like to embody today? And so for an example, for me, I put inner peace, joy. What are 2 actions that you think of that would accomplish that attitude or feeling today? So again, inner peace, joy. And so for me, in this moment when I was journaling this, I was actually doing a small class. It was online, and it's a daily Om. And so I put completing a lesson today in daily Om to learn about raising my vibration and letting go of emotional addiction. Okay. And do 5 to 10 minutes of meditation using love infusion meditation. So that is what, that was part of it. And then the second part, it says, give directions to your daily tasks. What is one thing you would like to make sure to do or get done today? And what is a positive affirmation or truth about yourself that will help you achieve your goals today? So what I put here is I put today and every day I'm learning to love and trust myself. Today and every day I am learning to love and trust myself. Before you set off on the day, what is something you are feeling grateful for this morning? I am grateful for the time free from work. This was time. Just giving you an example of something that I placed here. And having a day off to spend with my husband and time to self-reflect. Remember to take deep and slow breaths throughout the day to relax. So these are, again, this is the 5-minute focus. This is just an example of something that you could do when it comes to reflection. It doesn't have to be hard. Honestly, you can actually, if you don't want to go to get a journal, you can actually, based on the question that I gave, because it's from here, you can use a notebook until you actually want to get a journal. But again, it's the beauty of reflecting, thinking, and when you write it down and actually go back to it to see the progress, to see what did I change in my life, to see the behavioral changes, to see the manifestations that actually happened because you put things in place for it to happen. So I love you all. And again, make sure that you take care of yourself, be good to yourself, focus on the things that matter to you. And again, if you want to place anything in the chat, in the comments, when you get to this video, for those that are watching the replay, thank you. For those that got a chance to listen to it live, I appreciate that as well. But just to take care of yourselves and take time to self-reflect, take time to do the inner work. Take time to do that. This is something that is not one and done. It's something that's continual. And every time you do it, it'll be different. So you may have one focus within a month, and then 60 days later, you have a different focus or whatnot. But always giving yourself grace in the process. But it takes the inner work in order for us to bring out our best. All right. Love you all. Stay blessed.